What is up? We are here live at the Get Live or Get Lost podcast, and it goes a little something like this.
Don't know the meaning of living, I'll show you. Gave you back everything that I owed you, clothed you, and you can say that it's no lie. Told you, caution, look before you crossing into unknown territory, extortion. Size is not a factor, beyond earth service, don't none of this shit here matter. Truth be told, I'm so sick of these perpetrators and their scandalous ways. Pretty smiles so they face and got enough life in their days. I'll punish you like the master, make you run faster. Unleash the beast, fresh flesh should catch ya. I am offended, I am too highly recommended. Enough of this bullshit, I take my turf and I'll defend it. Holding my big dick, I'm holding, had to go to ticket. Went off a quick pick, bitch. Advancement, yeah, I got that present. Give rap shawty and you know that I keep them dancing. Parties till they smile it in my face. Wish harm to come against me. Mad cause they boo things here and wanna kiss me. Got like 60 more minutes, make it a quickie. Y'all get bitchy, well I get busy. Respect that, I take your money, I bet that. And I ain't even came for that, so back. Fear the black cat, watch the eye of the tiger. I'm conspirer, pyro, fire. Limits are dangerous, lost souls are tameless. And it be shameless, walk through life here shameless. Heart, can't nothing tear us apart. I'm getting rid of motherfuckers, keep on coming up short. When the heart breaks, the soul shakes, drowned in tears. Turn away from my fears so I can battle these fears. Don't let them treat you that way. Long as I'm woman, I'm gonna keep coming around. Don't let them treat you that way. I'm the woman that raised you, the woman that saved you. Don't let them treat you that way. My dude is stripping, my job is stripping, my mom's is stripping too. Don't let them treat you that way. Don't let them treat you that way. Long as I'm woman, I'm gonna keep coming around. Don't let them treat you that way. I'm the woman that raised you, the woman that saved you. Don't let them.
So all of that to say here on the historic Women's Month, ladies, don't let them treat you that way. Ain't that right, Loreal?
That's right.
We're gonna stop letting them treat us the way they want to. You know, I heard Vice President Kamala Harris pose a question to the Senate the other day, asking, what law is there that you know of that tells men what to do with their body? And the senator guy was like, can you repeat the question? She was like, and repeated the question. But happy Women's Month, everyone. Bless up to all of the beautiful ladies across the world who have made remarkable imprints on the world, in the lives of women, in the lives of family, in the lives of men. We'll shout you out. We have here today with us my cousin, y'all friend, Loreal, here with us to tune in and talk about some things. And yeah, welcome, Loreal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, like, with Women's Month, like, do you have any women that have, like, made an impact on your life or anything like that?
Yeah, well, so there's women in general are like, we do so much. Like, we're a force. We go through so much, and we are strong, and we just plummet through like all the adversity that life is thrown. I mean, we live in a patriarchal society, so there's so many women. There's so many women that I could talk about through history that just are amazing. For me personally, because I am, I'm an aspiring actress. Mm-hmm. Like that's a big part of who, like, I like to entertain. I don't work as an actress currently, but like that's where I want to go in life. So for me, I think about entertainment and think about women that I've looked at as inspiration for me personally. And two of those women, well, one, to start out with, the great, amazing Angela Bassett. We know Angela Bassett is like she's phenomenal, a phenomenal freaking woman, phenomenal actress, and she don't get the accolades she deserves. I mean, she gets them in our community. We rock with Angela, but as far as I guess the full entertainment industry, I don't think she gets seen the way she should be seen. But to me, she's amazing. I've watched her since I was a kid. You know, she's been acting for years, forever, and just killing it. Like plays everybody mama, and but she's knocks it down. Like she's won award for playing Tina Turner. We loved her, and What's Love Got to Do with It?
Yeah.
And she just puts her all into her craft. Like acting is a craft that you have to continue to work at, and she has done that time over and over again, and just still doing that. So I admire her, especially as a Black woman. Just seeing her since I was a little girl, I just think that she's phenomenal. So that's one woman that I'm always going to look up to. Another woman who has made a great impact in my life is my other favorite actress, Angelina Jolie. Yeah, and she's not a Black woman, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
I've been a fan of her since I was like a teenager, and I have a video that I made the other day on my social media about confidence, and what I said in there is that there was something that helped me build confidence that was outside of me, and it was really in my following of Angelina Jolie. Because and so she always exuded this confidence, not just in her roles that she played, but on the red carpet. You know, she's a beautiful woman, and she could have easily fell into this role of like, okay, I'm gonna be polished and prim because this is probably what's expected of me.
Right,
and she just was unapologetically, authentically herself, and she got judged for it. Like they were like, "Oh, she's crazy. She's this." What as a teenager, I didn't look at her that way. I saw like this woman. She could choose to fit in a box, and she's not choosing to do it for the sake of like, let me just be different on purpose, for attention. Because I feel like that's a big thing now. That was just her being authentically herself. And that to me was like, seeing that as a teenager was like, because I never really fit in. I've never felt that, but it just kind of felt like I can fully do that, like expressively. And that just drew my like admiration to her. But then through the years, we've watched her grow, because she was a little wild or whatever.
Wild, crazy.
And now she's done so much, like working with the UN. She's adopted, her kids from other countries. But what I loved about seeing her do that is that she didn't force them to be like, oh, now you're in this family, this is how you act. She actually allows her children to learn about the cultures where they're from. Like that's a big thing for her. Yeah. So just the roles that she plays, I don't know if people know that she's never had an agent. So she takes a really active part, and she also has privilege in that as a white woman. There's privilege there that I don't think Black women are afforded in Hollywood. But she did that, and so even still with that, I strongly admire her. Like I'm always going to be an extreme fan of hers. Now, those are women in entertainment. Of course, there's women in so many other parts of the world, or in different sectors like politics and social movements that are super important. But me being an aspiring actress, those are the two women that I've always looked up to.
Big up. Those are good choices. We love Angelina. We love Angela. Okay. Right. We love Angela Bassett. Like, I pray that my genes, my juice, and everything flows like hers as I continue to age. She is definitely a phenomenal woman, and so is Angelina. One woman that I would like to recognize and big up for Women's History Month is a lady from my hometown. Hold on, get my screen right. A woman from my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, by the name of Maddie Jones. Maddie Jones is a civil rights activist in Louisville, and also like a grandmother to me. She has adopted and raised many in our city, and my family was a part of the number of children that she loved on and helped raise when they were younger. So shout out to Maddie Jones. She's marched with Martin Luther King and some of the great civil rights activists from that time in the 50s and 60s, even before that. And shout out to even her children, her sons and her daughters who are also, and her grandchildren who have taken a role here in the movement that we are setting today. So shout out to Nana for all the love that you give to your family, to your families, and to the city of Louisville, Kentucky. She also has a street named after her in Louisville. So you all, yeah, if you all are into Black history and Black culture and little known facts, go ahead and Google Maddie Jones, Louisville, Kentucky, and you'll see all the great works that she's done. And Nana, thank you for instilling hard work, fearlessness, and determination within me on my path as an adult. So shout out to Nana. Shout out to the family. Happy Women's History Month. To all the women across the world. Like, there are so many, like you said, there are so many. Like, we are the driving force of the world. Like I can go even deeper. Like, who said that Adam came before Eve? Like, I don't, like, we could take it that far. Like, because women, like, nothing moves, nothing's going to shake without us. Okay.
Nothing.
So I'm proud to be a woman. I have been insulted just being out in the world in the streets, especially amongst my Black men, when it comes to my sexuality. Oh, you want to be a man? You think you're a man? No, baby. I am so happy with being a woman. I'm so glad that I was chosen to be a woman. So shout out to those ladies. And speaking of women, let's talk about Fannie. Miss Fannie Willis here in Atlanta, Georgia, right? So, I mean, I big up the sister. I shout the sister out because you're going up against this evil force in politics and government, right? As a Black woman, you're strong enough to stand up against the Trumpeteers and his force and say, no, we're going to take you down for voter fraud, which occurred in our state and other states, and we're going to prosecute you. Good job, Fannie. Right. Good job for that. Good job. But not even a but. So what has taken place now in the case is, so they've come to a determination, and Fannie was in a relationship with a prosecutor that she hired to take on the case against Trump, right? She and this man were involved, had a relationship. It was private, but not public, is what it said. Okay. So Trump knows about this and was like, nah, you're going down. Your whole team is going down. You're not doing this. We're going to focus on you, not me. Well, they focused on it. Fannie's on the stand. Fannie's like, no, y'all got me screwed up. What's that got to do? Y'all it's my prerogative. I do what I want to do with myself. Yeah, not quite like that, but sister, Anyway, so they have determined that the case cannot go on unless Fannie removes the prosecutor in the case, her boyfriend, her lover boy. And so he stepped down himself. Fannie didn't have to do anything. He resigned. Yeah. Said, I step out as long as we can focus on this case and what needs to be done in taking down this criminal who is a part of the U.S. system, legislature, presidential system, capitalist system that's directing the people. So I'll stand down. Fannie, the rest of the team, do what y'all came to do, finish off this case. So I just wanted to shout her out, and publicize the case and everything, because it's crazy that when it comes to women, again, what we want to do, how we want to do it, who we want to sleep with, it's always a subject matter amongst other men or power sources. Why? Why does it have to be that? Why they always trying to take us down? Like, any way they can. Trump trying to take down everybody who's standing in his way, period, But good call to the prosecutor for making that call and, just kind of like stepping out of the drama and focusing on what the goal is. And that's taking down, not taking down, but bringing light to and bringing charges against Trump and his administration for the voter fraud that took place that led to his presidency through Georgia. So that's what we're gonna focus on. But yeah, that's all I got. What you got? What you think about that? Anything about that?
Well, it's someone like Trump. He's always, well, it's not even Trump. Like you're saying, men do that to women. Focus on something like who a woman slept with, or something so irrelevant to the issue at hand. I mean, they people do that regardless.
Mhm.
But with women, to take something that, if it were for a man in that position, it wouldn't matter. But in politics, they play dirty anyway, so they're gonna dig up what they can. But with a woman, any small thing, there's a double standard there, where oh, this is such a big, But I'm glad, like you said, they were able. The prosecutor stepped down, so focus on the case, and hopefully there will be nothing else. But I like the fact that she's sticking to it. Like, okay, I'm still coming for you.
Yep, still coming for you.
You can throw whatever. I'm gonna come for you.
Yep.
Because we need more people like that in politics. Period. We need people that are not afraid to go against. And Trump, he has a big, a cult following, and then he has just as a white man in America. Period. There's a lot of power there. So we need as many strong people as we can get to fight corruption and an administration that refuses to hold itself accountable. We need a lot more of that. So
true.
Big ups to her. Big and all other women that are just doing. We need more women in politics. We need more Black women in politics, because it's sad to say, but it's like we the ones that say we're gonna save the world.
I can be proud and say that I am happy with the freckledness that is taking place within Congress. We're in there. The Blacks are in the, male and female, of course, foreign. We're all up in Congress. But like you said, to move up into other areas like the government, like I don't want to say, I can't say certain things because I don't want to be banned, but like it's a slow process. Every 4 years, every 2 years, every year we see something new. I'm gonna jump around since you speak of more colored faces in politics, and talk about this lady. What's her name? Rashida Tlaib. She is Palestinian. She's Palestinian. She's a Congress representative, I think, for the state of Michigan. But what Rashida has done is proposed a bill. She's proposed a bill for people like me, independent music songwriters, artists, musicians, and it's called the Living Wage for Artists Act. And they just passed this maybe within the month. So what this bill is asking, or proposing, is that us independent artists get paid something that's worth living from. Right now we're on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, and as many supporters that we do have, and the way that we do promote, we're not getting the streams, the money from the streams. It doesn't make sense. Like we're getting 12 point something, point 0.00 something to every dollar, 0.000 something to every dollar. Like it's ridiculous. You don't get paid, and we put in so much work and time behind creating this material that the world loves. So this act is just saying, increase that amount per stream. Each subscriber that you have, a percentage of those subscriber fees are coming back to your artist. And at a certain number, there will be a cap, because every artist is going to make different amounts. But definitely shout out to Rashida Tlaib and Jamal Bowman, who are in Congress, for passing that bill. We us artists appreciate that, because we spend a lot of money on investing in ourselves, and a lot of us don't know how to get the return, or where the hell the return comes from. It's a lot of artists out here stunting, they got this gold. It ain't even like that, especially if you're on the independent level. Beyonce and them, they're good. They're good. They don't have any worries about this. But as independent artists, we should definitely get paid what we're worth getting paid for creating. Artists, we're always getting exploited on some level when you put the corporations into it. We're always being exploited and just
they're making billions.
Billions, multi-millions. I was looking at, like, you ever heard of Virgin Records?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Virgin Records. So Virgin now has its own airline with the big buses, and I'm like looking like
cruises too.
Cruise ships, like they're banking off of artists, like you have a whole airline, a cruise ship, and who knows what else. Like, shout out to your corporation and your methods, but and I know that that's from artists who do what I do, or them playing the game. A fucking airline and a cruise ship. Well, I'm worth that too. My homeboy and homegirl over there who've been doing music for more longer than I deserve that too. So, it's also on us as artists. We have to learn the business. This is corporate America.
Right.
So we have to learn the business. Like, to create music is one thing, but learning the business is a whole nother. You got to make some sort of return. So that's another thing with independent artists. Like, over the years, you'll see different laws. We've seen different laws be passed. Last year, there was the American Fairness Act. There was another bill that passed it actually increased our percentages on what we did get from streaming royalties. So that came through, I think, 22, 23. So we're continuing to see the paradigm, within our life here. So shout out to another sister, Free Palestine. She is a Palestinian woman. She's very emotional in Congress. Like, she tears up a lot. It's just because she feels the pain.
Feels it,
Not just as a Palestinian, but as a woman of color, as an American, from Detroit, Motown. She speaks about Motown, whereas Motown is like the heart of a lot of music that people love still today.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, big up to her. You have any independent artists that you like to listen to?
I love music, but I'm stuck in the 90s.
Okay.
Really, I listen to a lot of stuff. I like people have to put me on to new stuff. And so I haven't been listening to any new music. But one artist I do listen to, she was talking about the Spotify thing, because she's not big anymore. I don't think was ever big, but she's in this genre called trip hop. I love trip hop. And so she was having issues with Spotify because she gets a lot of streams from her albums that came out in 98. Like, I still listen to those albums over and over, and her name is Estero. And yeah, she was going through the same thing. The streaming with Spotify, she's getting nothing, like hardly anything, and her music is getting streamed all the time. I know a lot of them views streams come from me.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm just one person, but she's like, people rock with her albums. She only had 3, but they rock with them, and she was just like, yeah, this is hard. I'm trying to make a living, like you said, a living wage, and not just with music, but actors too. There was a whole thing just this last year about that's why writers, actors, pretty much entertainment or artists. It's sad that people put so much into their art form and they're not getting paid. And then but like Spotify, Netflix, all these companies, they're making billions on people's art, and you have to invest so much money to get, like, I want to act. I gotta spend money on headshots, demo reels, acting classes, et cetera, et cetera. blowing out money just to try to get in the door, so much money. And then people who are in the door, they're in the room, they're making it like you had a podcast before talking about Taraji. You know, you're putting all this out into not see. Well, I mean, that's a little different. It's not streaming or anything, but stream like stuff on
right,
streaming on her movies on Netflix or whatever.
She's
but
getting that money.
Her paycheck should be more than what they are, you know. And then especially as a Black woman, we're getting way less than counterparts. So it's great that there are people who actually care, because you know I unfortunately I am a person that sometimes read through comments, and on social media you should probably not read through comments because there's so many negative people. But the lack of empathy I saw when it comes to artists' rights and the money that artists make, we're just like, oh well, you should have picked a better career. Like we live in a world where I picked a career that's not in art, and I'm a very art creative person, but I picked a career that makes me money, but I don't love it. You know, so it's like, do you choose to have a living wage and be unhappy, or do you choose to go for your dream? So it's like, so we have to be forced to choose unhappy lifestyles just to live. That's not, you know, I'm a software developer. I don't love it. I don't love being a software developer at all. I want to be an artist. I want to create. I want to perform, but I also have to pay my bills.
I understand that, because it's like as an independent artist, I've been doing this over 20 years. I want to tell you more than that, but over 20 years. And when I think back, like I know a lot of people in the industry, I never once thought to sell my soul or compromise my work or my art. But it's like when I really think about it and look at where some of the people are who we were coming up together doing the same thing, we part of the same teams and groups, look at where they are and where I am. I look at them like, damn, they've lived with their mom, you know, for a long time, or, you know, they didn't have to worry about this bill or that bill. Me, on the other hand, I've always paid for roofing over my head, for food in my little stomach. You know, I've always had an alarm system, i.e. my dogs. You know, I have to pay for to live. So I have to work, you know, which takes away from the creative arts at times. But, you know, I'm not complaining at all about it. You know, my work ethic is built differently than a lot who have surpassed me. My knowledge has surpassed a lot who have passed me, and yeah, man. What she said. What she said. So, cuz, are you on TikTok?
I am. I was trying to say.
I said cuz, but her name is Loreal. I must say this. I must continue to say this. This is my cousin, but her name is Loreal. So I may say cuz a few times, but you all can call her Loreal, and also follow her on Instagram. We're gonna find her Instagram page here soon, because she has some things she be talking about on her page too. So it's Loreal. Okay, my cousin is here. So do you have a TikTok page, cuz?
I do. I was staying away from TikTok for a long time, but I caved in just recently. And, you know, I ride my bike. I'm really big into motorcycles. You love motorcycles too. And I hike. So I post random stuff. Usually something about hiking or motorcycling, whichever. But I don't have a lot of videos. But yeah, I'm on TikTok.
Okay. So do you like it? Do you like it over Instagram or Facebook or anything?
I prefer Instagram just because I've been on it for since it came out. Because I'm new to TikTok. I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I see the use. I see the benefits of it. People can get rich from just posting on TikTok.
Yeah,
you can reach a lot of people from TikTok, because I feel like it actually is more popular than Instagram now. So people use it to also get information out that you won't see in your local news or in you know, your news sites like CNN and whatnot. People are putting real information, the truth out on TikTok. So there's definite, for my personal use, I'm gonna stick with Instagram mostly, but I see the benefits of TikTok being a platform.
which is why the US wants to ban TikTok here on this ground. So I'm sure that you all have heard, especially if you're here on YouTube, you're probably on TikTok at some point in the day or just somewhere online or within social media world. So the US is trying to bully folks. This is the bully era, okay? Well, I can't even say this is the bully era. US is bullying people all throughout its history, all throughout its newfound history. But so the US is forcing China to sell TikTok because it is a security threat, so they say, or security risk, so the US claims. But like Cuz said here, like, well, one, as far as TikTok and my use, I don't use it much. I do use it sometimes, but it only has LS Lane content, the artist content. I don't put too much on there. Even I know some of my family will send massive TikTok links to TikTok things. They're great. They have great content. I love it. It's so good and entertaining. But I have to at times, like March, for the month of March, I have been active on TikTok. I haven't posted so much, but I have allowed it to open and I'll watch things and see things. Come March 30th, I may shut it down, but I may just keep it because they're trying to bully them into selling it. But it is a very useful tool because you do get valuable information from other countries. That is true. So US, with its evil deeds and thoughts and genocidal ways, wants to ban it because it's giving us too much truth, or which is a security risk. Having too much truth is a security risk to imperialist countries that are not for the people, but more for its profit, right? So if you are a TikTok user, I say use that shit up. Use and abuse it before we lose it, And again, I prefer Instagram over Facebook. I prefer Instagram over TikTok, but I support TikTok, especially being that my US of A is trying to bully it out of the hands of people who appreciate it. Now, you won't ban TikTok, US, ban that fucking Facebook. Facebook and Instagram pretty much the same, so on the same meta. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sick and tired of Facebook and Instagram invading on my privacy every time. Every time I go to Google and Google something, then I go to Instagram, then go. Damn, I'm sick and tired of it. TikTok don't do that. TikTok hasn't done me like that. You know what I'm saying? Saying that out loud, I just might go to TikTok. I just might wipe out fucking Facebook and Instagram and just go fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
US, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, okay? Because artists like myself, creators like myself, my cousin here uses it to record her riding her bike in this city where all these crazy drivers are. And she records her beautiful hiking experiences. So US, y'all just hate them because the people love TikTok. And they don't love Facebook and Instagram as much as they used to because you all have invaded us, And speaking of Facebook and Instagram, they even had a glitch. Remember that glitch?
Oh, yeah, it was like a week or so ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, there was. I thought someone hacked my account.
Yeah, I think we all
because
did.
my account has been hacked before, so I was freaking out for a little bit, and I was called my mom and everybody. I'm like, can you go check my account and see if it's hacked? And
right.
I was like, oh, it's just down. Okay.
Right.
I'm glad that I'm not hacked. But
so I think it was Instagram first. And I was in the middle of, I was strolling. I was in the middle of a good troll session. And then something happened. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been trolling. They got me. They got me, But no, so there was an IG glitch. And I think some days after, within the same week, there was a Facebook glitch. So I say this and mention this to tell us all, just be aware of how much time we're spending on it anyway.
Yeah.
Be aware of what we're searching and what we're clicking on.
Yes.
Even when it comes to being in your home at night and how we set up our phones before we go to bed, like, because all of it, like, I go back to the Obama era, like, even with TVs, all of that stuff is recorded. This stuff it sounds crazy and like a conspiracy when we say these things, but they really are listening and recording us. Like, it is a true invasion of privacy. So when I see the U.S. put out these crazy laws into the US, it's like ridiculous. So you just like, you control us. We are all still slaves. You know what I'm saying? It's just different levels of slaveship. We're all still slaves here as an American. So expat. Yeah. So anybody, see a few people on here, but like, does anybody still use Snapchat? You know,
I know people do. I don't. I've never been a fan, but
yeah, some people
I limit my
use it.
social media consumption. But yeah, there people still use it.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think we should cut back on how. I know I death scroll Instagram like crazy, and I'm gonna cut back on that very shortly. I might even deactivate my account. Really, sometimes I'll do that for like a while, and I'll notice a whole change in like my mood when I deactivate my Instagram. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
You know, you don't even realize, but the stuff that we're consuming on a daily. I was gonna bring up in with TikTok. I read somewhere that China has a different type of TikTok than what we have in America. The content that they allow their people to see is more educational, inspirational. It's not what the type of content we have in America. They keep certain things out because they don't want. I guess they don't want the minds of young people being. So it's like there's two sides of it. It's like there's also news and truth coming out, but then there's also the mindless crap that we consume on social media too. So I thought that was interesting when I read it. I should have dug more into it to see how much of it is that accurate. But I saw that.
Look into that. Look into that, guys. Check that out too. Like, see if there's another. I'm sure there is, because China, like, American government tries to put China as the enemy, but they're not. U.S. wants to portray that image that China is the enemy. We're still buying all their products and, you know, buying all their goods and all these trades and stuff. But let's see if China actually has another platform of TikTok. I am curious to know what their social media platforms do and what they look like. I'm gonna report back to you with that on the next episode. That'd be something good to check into. I'd like to know more about that.
Yeah.
For sure. Anybody still use Snapchat out there? Anybody know about Snapchat out there? I know. I think my sister used Snapchat. Can never say it right. Snapchat for a long time before she went on to TikTok. And I'm like, oh, where you get that filter from? She's like, Snapchat. Are you still around? Yes. It's probably better to go with the least popular, you know, depending on, you know, what type of drama you into, you know, how far you want your drama to go. But yeah, man, that's what time is it? 1:38. Oh, how about this? So I like Cardi B, you know. I really like Cardi B, and she is dropping a new single here this Friday, okay?
Linking up, I'm like, what in the fuck? If you scared, then just say that whole enough is enough. They was just in my DMs, ain't no trust in these sluts. I'm about to call up Diamond, bitch, knock if you buck.
Yeah. Shout out to Cardi. You know, Cardi, you know, she New York girl, you know, but she's at the top of the line for me when it comes to mainstream hip hop females out here. You know, I can put my opinions, like, I don't like the booty, I don't like the breasts, whatever. But, you know, I love Cardi, you know. Shout out to Cardi. I can't wait. It looked like she already released the damn single. Enough Miami is what it's titled. Yo, I haven't had a chance to see the Wendy Williams joint yet. I've seen clips here and there and everything, but I have not. Have you had a chance to see it? Not yet. Okay, so we gotta watch it. We watching it this week. Okay, if you all have seen it, please tune tune into the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Tell me what to look out for. But I do know like her history and her past as a radio host. Was so drama filled, and she was the radio personality that just gave no fucks, about an entertainer's personal life or the rumors. She was going to air it out, and she was going to air it out with them on the air, right there on the phone, right there in front of her. Hey, you still do crack, still like the Whitney Houston thing, but bless her.
She's going through a lot right now.
She is going through a lot, mentally, physically, and I'm sure emotionally behind the veil that she's under right now. But I guess keep her in your prayers. I know a lot of entertainers did not care much for Wendy. We even saw her demise on the Wendy Williams show, the few episodes that she had where she broke down or whatnot. So regardless of anyone's life path and, how they choose to walk in that's on them. But that is a human being that, just from clips alone, like it's bad business for sure. So yeah, definitely keep her lifted up in your prayers. And I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that show here within the next week. Just to get some more information on it.
That's I like that you said that, because there's I haven't followed Wendy's career, but I know that she does. She's put out things and what she's what we call messy.
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, like you said, people are human beings. No matter what someone is doing, how people are behaving, we never want to return that energy.
Exactly.
That's a thing. Never, whatever people put out there, that's their journey, that's their walk in life. But you never want you should never want harm onto others or how they move. I hope whatever she's going through, all that she's going through, I hope she comes through it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of things in my life with different people, and I always still have empathy. Like I've had people in my life that were messy with me or hurtful towards me or did not care to put my business out there or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you get upset about it, but at the end of the day, you just don't want to give that energy back, because it comes back to you. I believe everything's full circle. And maybe that's all we know. That's what Wendy's going through, coming back around. So it's like, no matter what, like you want to wish people well, there's a big thing in society now. I feel like a lot of people, I feel like there's an imbalance in people's interactions, how people treat each other. I feel like a lot of people in the world are leaning away from empathy. I feel like we live now in a society where being messy, being petty is like cheered upon, and it's hard not to react to that. And that's where I've been learning is to I don't even really like the term be a bigger person, but control my reaction, So I feel like if someone like Wendy Williams, you're like, well, she deserved blah, 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 because she did this. And it's like, control your reaction, because that reaction, that energy, you don't want to bring that back to you. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people are leaning away from empathy. There's an imbalance, and I wish we can bring our society more back to empathy, because the opposite of empathy is a toxic type of space. And so that ties into actually, so me, I'm gonna in the future start talking about something. I'm probably gonna create my own podcast talking about a different subject of I'm really big on talking about narcissism. And so much of narcissism, to me, the world narcissism is a spectrum, like kind of like sexuality. So on this end, you got empathy, extreme empathy. On this end, you got extreme narcissism. And I feel like everybody lies somewhere in between there. We all have narcissistic traits and tendencies that we need to be becoming aware of and working on, so we're not all the way over here.
Right.
You know, and so like with that empathy, you know, you're gonna learn to react differently. You're gonna learn to, no matter what someone's doing to me, no matter how someone's showing up, still have some empathy. You know, so sorry, I'm probably going off on a tangent. I'm trying to collect my thoughts at one time, girl. But but yeah, it's like when I was hearing about Wendy's, like, yo, Wendy, she was out here cold. But it's like, you know, we will still, no matter how anybody's moving, move yourself in love and empathy, you know, because we just it makes the world a better place.
Yeah.
It makes it. No, we don't want to add more fire to fire.
Yeah. And it's hard it's hard to do that. You know, I understand because everyone feels like their opinions and their emotions are valid, which they are.
Yeah.
But it's like once you put the empathy into it, you can listen to with your heart, you know, and respond with your heart, or not respond at all. You know, when it comes to empathy and having it for people we know, love and care, for people that we don't know. You know, we see empathy a lot displayed during a time of loss or during a time of tragedy or war, or, you know, things that brings communities together, which it should exist like that. But damn, why can't we have it when there is no loss?
Right.
Why can't we have it when there is no war? You know what I'm saying? If we love and care that much for something or someone, you know, yeah, just be mindful of the heart chakra, you know, and how you allow it to vibrate and move. But you were talking about narcissism. Let's go back to that for a second, because like you said, all of us have narcissistic traits. And it's like, I guess to keep them intact is to have the empathy.
Empathy and awareness. And accountability. So accountability is actually the big thing. So I know people say narcissism is narcissism as a hot word right now, and it's overused, and you hear that a lot. And I don't, in my opinion, it's not used enough. And the reason why people are hearing it now, because people are finally learning what it is. Whereas people don't realize they've been going through narcissistic abuse for a long time. It's not new. It's been around, but now we have a word to assign behaviors in people.
Right.
And it people also have a strong misconception of what narcissism is. I even used to have a misconception of narcissism. I thought it meant a person who loved themselves too much. Narcissists do not love themselves. They're very self-loathing. They're very self-centered, selfish, but self-loving, no love. And that's another way how you know how you kind of can figure out people, because if you love yourself, you treat people the same way. So if someone is treating people in it, like being messy and all that stuff and being hurtful, there's something inside of that person that's not loving them. Because if they did, you project out what you have in you, what you feel in you, you project that out. So if you're treating people with love and care, then you have that love and care in you. If you're not, then you don't. And so those are three things with narcissism: is insecurity, lack of accountability, and not wanting to deal with the shame of realizing that they're not as, as as important. Because even though they're self-loathing, a narcissistic person is self-loathing, they also at the same time feel like they're highly important. Or highly, often perfect.
They do.
Often perfect.
Yes. Oh my God, that person just stood out so clear in my head. So sorry.
So when there's something is brought up, like, hey, you just hurt me, and that's gonna bring feelings of shame. They don't want to feel that.
Right.
So they're gonna project. They're gonna blame shift it back on you. No, you did something. Like we were talking about Donald Trump and Fanny. No. Let's focus on you.
Yeah.
Let's focus on you.
Right.
Because so that's to get. I don't want to feel that icky feeling of, I did something wrong. Instead, let me act like you're the problem.
Right.
So but it goes so much deeper into that, and then it shows up in our relationships, our friendships, family, big family. That's usually where it starts from childhood trauma,
right?
And also work environments. I have a friend right now dealing with it in her job with coworkers. So I think if instead of saying this word is said overused, people need to actually start researching it more. The more knowledge you have about what narcissism actually is, the more empowered you are to deal with it, because it's when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, someone who's fully NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, not just we all have traits, but someone fully in that. When you're dealing with a person like that, it is psychologically damaging, like excessively so. So if you're not empowered or knowledgeable on what it truly is, then you're gonna suffer.
Yeah.
So that's me when I start talking more. Like you said, I make videos on my platform. It's probably gonna be centered around that, because I'm very passionate about getting people to learn more about narcissism. I'm not I am not a professional, but I'm learning as I go through my own experiences, through my own research, and through my own just wanting to know more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Peace to all the narcissists. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and research. Not research. But she said that, and I believe it's true, everyone has some sort of narcissistic quality trait in them. Whether we use it or bring it to the surface on a regular, we don't know. But let's try to see if we can pinpoint what our trait is. Each of you here who have watched this podcast up until this point, see if we can kind of, and you do this amongst yourself so that you don't feel like you need to argue with anyone about your narcissistic traits. Okay, so this is just a little an exercise. I'm going to try to see if I can find what one of my narcissistic traits are, and to silence it. So whatever you find that may be along the lines of narcissism, which hurt other people, which cause trauma to other people and brings toxicity into your relationships, silence it. Simple, but not simple. Silence it.
Takes work.
Takes work. Takes work. Speaking of no, I'm not going to touch on that. But real quick, I want to say, before we get out here, it's 1:55. We got like 5 more minutes to go. I wanted to say real quick, I wanted to touch on all the massive marches that have been taking place across the world in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Excuse me. Big up to everyone who's been a part of the movement. Big up to all the leaders who have been a part of that movement. Shout out. Do you think that protests and things really work? Do you think that protests and demonstrations really work? Is the question I have for you all. Why or why not? You can ask yourself this. Do you believe that they work?
It depends. I think it depends on who's protesting. I think certain groups are heard more than others. I think in certain groups, like I think with us as Black people, we've been protesting forever, and I think it depends on who cares enough. Whoever's listening. I think a lot of our protesting, maybe in the civil rights movement, the changes that happened, can we really say it came from the protesting, or did it come from something else? And it just, you have to kind of feel like dig deeper on how everything got into motion back then, and then what really changed. Have we gotten much further? I mean, we're integrated, but have we really gotten much further than that time to say that those protests worked back then? The protests that we have currently today, I know we were talking about Palestine, but I'm just, in my brain, I'm thinking about just the protests that I've been a part of, which is like, police brutality, and I'm thinking, has that done anything? I don't know. That's what I say. So I think it depends on who's protesting,
Okay.
and then who you're protesting to, and then I guess the amount of people that get involved. I think with Palestine is massive. I think there will be something that comes from it. Enough people are making noise and saying, okay, something needs to be done. But at the end of the day, there are much bigger powers here at play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about their bottom line at the end of the day, what their intents are, what their end game is.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really say if I 100% if I really feel like protesting works. I don't know. I think about that a lot, actually.
Okay. Well, I believe that a lot of times protests don't work, and I also believe a lot of times they do. I remember being younger and seeing like London and France, and protests and people in the street doing mazel tovs and things like that. And my rebel mind was like, "Oh, cool, I want to do that." But that's just because I'm a rebel. But then when it became reality here in the U.S., I did that, and I still do that. Actually, the video that we opened with was shot on Women's Day in 2019, International Women's Day in March. So that's the reason why I opened up with that video, because we had a march. I believe we were marching for police brutality and things like that. It just equal rights, LGBT rights, just rights for the people. So I believe that sometimes they don't and sometimes they do. It does depend on the organization, how you go about organizing and mobilizing. The protest, the demonstration. We've seen it work. Certain laws have been pushed and backed. It takes time for them to go through and to be approved sometimes. But I believe that protests, depending on the capacity and the order behind it, they do work, or they can work. Just like the worldwide march that continues to happen week after week for Palestine. Our voices are being heard all across the world. But see what there are. I want to go back to this. We're gonna go over, but it's okay. We're gonna go over just a few minutes. So we have all these mass marches. A ceasefire had been put into place, a temporary ceasefire. Okay. Well, though we want a ceasefire altogether, right? For any war ravaged place, we don't want the guns and bombs to fall upon these people who can't bomb you back. Okay. We just don't want that to happen. From the marches and protests, they decided to go ahead and push the temporary ceasefire, because there were so many people protesting. There were so many voices making this vibration and sound. Okay, guys, let's see if we can write in a temporary ceasefire. Cool, appreciate it, but can we just stop the bombing of these families who are trying to find their way out of where they live, or not? Some of them may be forced to stay. I just want to stay where their homes and their families are. So say that protests work. We have to continue to do it. I just think about if we were to do this in our own city, if we were to do this in our own counties weekly, if we were to do this in our own states, our own jurisdictions weekly here in the U.S., you think something ain't gonna be done? You think the fucking electricity is crazy? I just said a whole lot in a few seconds in my head, but I'm not gonna repeat that. Electricity is crazy. I'd like to believe that if we round up a crew and mobilize these energy companies, in my state of Georgia, in your state of wherever, I bet you they do something about it. I bet you they do something about it, because see, we're messing with their money at that point. We're making them look bad at that point. So I definitely think that protest works if it's organized and mobilized in the right way. And, as we march, and keep in mind our Palestinian brothers and sisters, we have to also think about our brothers and sisters who have been fighting before that, who have been fighting for all of their lives. Palestine has been that too. We have to think about Congo. Armenia, all the other places that are at war. Like, why can we protest for them like this, the same like we're doing?
Gonna give a shout to
Yeah.
Sudan and Haiti, what
Yes.
they're going through right now, and because we don't hear about places like that.
Yeah.
Right? With when there's more people that
Yeah, and as the U.S. also try to go in and bully out Haiti again, like chill out on Haiti. Like Haiti is going to fight back. Like, I mean, that's their thing. They're going to fight back. And sadly that they're not. That so much has been taken away from them, but they're going to fight back. The U.S. is still trying to bully their way over into Haiti. But yeah, we have to consider all of these countries, because all of these countries, the U.S. has something to do with all of them, where they really shouldn't have anything to do with it. Like we talk about Palestine, this is like the land of Jesus Christ, this is like the land where Jesus walked over there. This is so sacred. You feed us this in the Bible. You speak so highly of the land that, on that side of the world. Like, how could you do this to that land, to that ground? It's just all about procuring and taking what wealth, what minerals you want to from other people. And, this is America, or expat. Let's say that. Oh, shout out to Claudia De La Cruz and Karina Garcia. Yo, you gotta check these ladies out. People talk about socialism and how socialism is communism. I don't know the relation between the two. But shout out to socialists Claudia De La Cruz and Karina Garcia have made the ballot in Hawaii and a couple of other places. They got socialism on the ballot. So happy Women's Month to those ladies as well. Check them out. Claudia De La Cruz and Karina Garcia. Check them out. What you got? You got anything else for us, cuz?
No, I was like, dang, I wish we had more time, because I was gonna go a little into that more, but that'll be another day.
What you gotta say?
Because I was reading something about how Bernie Sanders was trying to, he's been talking about, kind of like his version of socialism. And I just think about how people, they hear socialism, they think, oh, bad, because it's been thrown to them to think that it's bad. But, extreme socialism, that could be bad, but we need more of it. Capitalism is destroying us.
It has destroyed us. It has destroyed
us. And, because the greed behind it, and it's, we, as a people, as a community, as a country, that's why the wealth and the income disparity is just going to grow and grow and grow, because it's capitalism. If I can't really think about it right now. My brain is going all over the place. But what Bernie Sanders was proposing, I think it needs to be more. We did that. That's why voting is important, and people paying attention to what's going on in politics is important. Because these are the things that's going to change our community, but also just education, because a lot of people are still voting against their own interests because they're not actually learning anything. They're just being thrown like fire, like just hot topic words. Someone like Trump told me that was bad, so that's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a socialist. You don't even know what that means. Somebody told you it was bad, so you think it's bad. And really, we need more socialism. Yeah. Actually, there's socialism already in this country. You just don't realize that it is.
And shame on you if you speak about socialism in this country, but that's okay. You'll be okay. There are more of us.
There's always bad to certain, anything too extreme there's going to be negative. So it's ironing out like a something that really works for the country. That's what we need. Yeah, that's going to take a lot of more work.
Hey, power to the people. All day, every day. You know how we roll. Get live or get lost. And real quick before we get out here, I want y'all to follow my cousin on her Instagram page. What's your Instagram page?
It's at I am, and it's ELLEOREAL. I am Loreal, which is just Loreal.
She is Loreal. This is my cousin Loreal. You guys be sure to follow her. She's going to be coming at you with some content. Yeah, man, I thank you for coming out.
No
sharing
problem.
this
Thank
space
you for
with
having
me.
me. Cause
So much. Hopefully we can do it again soon.
Yes,
Hopefully
absolutely.
inspire you to, do your
It
own thing.
actually has very much so.
Good. See, it's easy. It's easy. You just set it up, sit down, and talk. And I feel better today, so I feel like I'm talking to myself. So thank you all for tuning in. Real quick before we go, eclipse on April 8th. Be sure to check in on your animals. They say make sure your animals are okay. Give them a little extra love. Solar eclipse or total eclipse on April 8th. So look forward to that. And I vouch for not no water park at Lake Lanier, but I vote for you, Black people. Don't go to Lake Lanier to go to that water park, okay? I don't know if you've seen the movie or not. The movie wasn't that great production, but the story is true. Black people, keep y'all ass out of Lake Lanier. Go to Florida. Matter of fact, go out the country, okay? Do that, all right? And with that, we are out. Power to the people. Get live or get lost. We'll see you next month, all right?